Hey YouTube, I am going live, I think for the first time. Um, just want to give this a shot. Honestly, my phone is low on battery, so I just wanted to find a way to get this out there before I ran out of room. I only have about 3 minutes left of space, and I wanted to expound beyond that time. Um, as the video title is homosexuality sin? My thoughts. Yeah, it's a bit clickbaity. I'm not gonna be the deciding factor on that or whatever. I'm just putting this out there because I ran into some frustration today on the internet. I know I often do, but what actually happened today was I got into an argument with a lot of people over something very sensitive, and I wanted to share with you my experience. So a friend of mine, here's the story. Before I breathe, let me just share with you what actually happened. A friend of mine invited me to this page on Facebook, which will remain nameless, which has people discussing different political views. And also, in order to join, I had to fill out a questionnaire, and the admins had to review my answers. And within a couple days of review, they finally accepted my request to join. Either they're so backed up in line or they actually review my answers. I don't know. But anyways, on this page, there's a lot of different controversial topics people talk about. And if you're on the group, you can start any topic you'd like. The one I chimed in on was literally posted for the first time today. It was, I kid you not, is homosexuality a sin? Agree or homosexuality is a sin, period. Agree or disagree, question mark. And some people, actually a lot of people, just put agree, or a lot of other people just put disagree. You just agree, disagree. Yeah, okay, fine, whatever. I decided to chime in and say something a little bit more constructive to the conversation. And I said, the Bible doesn't literally say homosexuality is a sin, and what talks about men lying together and sodomy and whatever is Old Testament anyway, so in my opinion that doesn't matter. I kid you not, within an hour I had about 50 comments following it, most of which were people who disagreed with me. Of the 50 or so comments, 25 of which were by one very stubborn, I'll just say Old Testament Christian. And his first approach in the conversation was, well, you're just I'm going to give him a southern accent. Sorry for y'all in the South, but this is how I imagine him speaking. So, well, you're just a closeted gay, and you shouldn't be a part of this conversation. It's like, okay, no, I'm just addressing the original post, and I challenge anyone to find the word homosexuality in the Bible. And someone actually did chime in with a very important point. In the original Greek translation, it wasn't men lying with men in Romans. It was, or not Romans, in Timothy, Leviticus. Anyways, it wasn't men lying with men, it was men lying with boys, so God hates pedophilia. And that, of course, no one challenged them on that. But this guy's approach was, it really got under my skin. He went completely ad hominem on me, and he couldn't speak couldn't speak basic English with his keyboard. He used the letter U instead of the word you, and he never put periods or commas in everything he posted. But something else that bothers me is within his relentless comments, he contradicted himself. In one sentence, he says, well, it's a mental disorder. In another sentence, he says, and it's a choice. Like, okay, wait. You're stating it's a mental disorder and a choice. You can't have both. You can't choose to be schizophrenic. You can't choose to be bipolar. You can't choose to have Alzheimer's. You can't choose to be claustrophobic. You can't choose to be depressed. You can't choose to have ADHD. And I was just throwing this at him, and he got pissed off at me. He was like, well, you shouldn't talk because you don't know the book. I'm like, okay, well, I've read the book, or the many books, rather, a couple times, and I can still tell you, word homosexuality isn't in there. Very exhaustive process, which honestly, really, 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 in a deep way, hurts me, because it does two things. One, it hurts me because it's like, dang, there are really this many stupid people out there who believe such things. And two, it's painful because, full disclosure, I'm a Christian. Although I do not subscribe to the ideas that these people have, it hurts me because these people with these ideas are making me look bad for sharing their basic idea of Jesus Christ and God and Holy Ghost, Holy Spirit, rather, whatever you want to call it. And these people are making me look bad, and these people might somewhere down the line, and people like them are causing people I am great friends with and people I love as human beings to feel sad, and causing them pain, and maybe hurting their faith, maybe causing them to not believe in God, and causing them to hate Christians, because the assholes out there are choosing to pick and choose what beliefs there are. And the sad thing is, they'll say the same thing about me, that I'm picking and choosing based off of their distorted beliefs of what Christ wants us to, how Christ wants us to walk in our lives. And to address the topic as titled in the video, is homosexuality sin? No, I don't think it is, because homosexuality is something you're born with, and God doesn't want you to go to hell just because you're born feeling certain ways. That being said, there's obviously a gray area, and I don't want to say what I, like transgenderism isn't the same as homosexuality, and I'm not equating the two, and I'm not saying one is one thing and one is the other thing. That's a whole nother topic. Bottom line is, it's not my place to say what is right or wrong. Obviously, murder is obvious, and the basic 10 Commandments is right and wrong. That's pretty black and white. But it's not my place to say who goes to heaven, who goes to hell. That's God's place. And I do not share the same authority as God. And as a Christian who believes in Jesus' word, I love every human being out there regardless of what they've done. People say, well, would you love Adolf Hitler? It's hard to love Adolf Hitler. If I knew the guy in the 30s, I'd probably try and have a very long, constructive conversation with him, and might use a few insults, because it might be hard to hold back. And obviously, there are hard things that we as human beings have to deal with. Like, there is a battle between good and evil. There are evil people out there with evil intentions who, if they died, the world would be a better place. There are people who are military overlords, and there are people who have slaves and sex slaves and cause all sorts of hurt and despair in the world, who, if we're dead, the world and many people would be a better place, and many people would be less hurt. If you're gay and simply homosexual, you're nowhere near that category, because what you do is your business, not my business. It's not my place to try and change the way you conduct your private business and the relationships you have. And if you're a human being who's decent, I would love to hang out with you, because I love meeting new people. And I just want to say, as a Christian, if you've ever been hurt by someone else who also identifies as a Christian, I'm sorry for their ignorance. Because Mark 2 says, be the friend of sinners. That includes murderers. And again, it's not my place to say what is sin or not sin, but something that I think is why, the reason why I think that those passages are in the Bible about be the friend of sinners is the best way to help improve this world is by letting go of this innate tendency to hate that is in all our hearts. And part of that is addressing ourselves before we start addressing those around us. And I think truly the weak out there are people who distort the realities around them in order to make their lives more comfortable. It is the weak who do not take care of the sick and hungry. It is the weak who hail or throw insults around. It is the weak who pretend to be strong and pretend to be Bible thumping experts when they go home and put some stuff in a sock, if you catch my drift. It is the strong who will sacrifice their pride and sacrifice their time in order to make a real difference in this world. And part of that is, regardless of what views you have, is letting go of the hate in your heart in order to love people. And this extends beyond just people who use the Bible to justify their hate for homosexuals. A lot of people will put all Muslims in one category, and even recently in Canadian Parliament, all Sikhs in the same category as Muslims. It is a serious ignorance that absolutely needs to stop. And I really, really wish that more people can speak up about this type of thing, because it's not okay. If you know someone in your church or your community that has gone to such great lengths to hurt others or to make themselves look better by claiming that they know something that they don't, it's not okay. Because as Jesus said, love thy neighbor as thyself. I think the reason that is said is you can't really love someone else unless you love yourself. And if you don't love yourself, you tend to wear a veil of assholishness. So love yourself and love everyone else around you just as much as you do love yourself. that includes people you hate. Anyways, that's it for me. Sorry to get really preachy there, but I don't know, I just felt like talking. Anyways, if you enjoy this, send me a like. If you disagree with me, send me a dislike. I've probably said something asshole-ish there. So if I did, I apologize, and I promise I will continue to fight this internal battle within all of us. Let me know in the comments. Keep it locked right here. I'll catch you guys in the next one.